I have Tina Fallis here from Ottawa Treatment Centre. Tina, thank you so much for joining me. I always do a little bit of an intro, but we met through a client of mine, actually, I think, who referred me over to you. So I'm always very grateful for all my clients and sharing how I've supported them. So Tina came into my life recently, and I'm so grateful to be part of your journey. I wanted you to tell everybody a little bit about your business, what you do, and really what inspired you to start it.
Thank you for having me on this morning, Shayna. It's a great opportunity as fellow business owners, as women business owners, to support one another. As far as what inspired me to get into my field of work is really about connection and community and what I could give back to my small immediate living in the city that I live in. But it's about doing something that I personally found meaningful and fulfilling and working with people and something in the helping field. And I had worked in another field previously and it just wasn't really connecting or filling my cup, so to speak. And so I switched paths in terms of education and all that sort of good stuff and found myself here with you today. I find my work very meaningful and it gives me great purpose in my life. And I'm always humbled and never take for granted the opportunity to sit and work alongside the clients that I work with.
Yeah, I love that. So you're a psychotherapist, correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
great. And I know you're building a team right now and you're in a great location in Ottawa. So it's very exciting as you're building your business. There's a lot of things that I'm sure that you're learning as things are evolving and the team is starting to grow. But let's talk real talk. Has entrepreneurship really been exactly what you imagined, or is it a little bit different?
I will say that it's a grind. Like it's a grind, and I never would have known all without your support and working alongside you and your expertise what is involved. Like there's so many small things involved that I never would have thought of. And so it's a steep learning curve, but it's very rewarding, very fulfilling, and very doable. But definitely learning as I go. And as I said, your support and expertise has been instrumental in that because you think of all the things, as this is your business, you think of all the things that I need to think of. And it's just like, okay, no, Tina, you need to get that contract. You need to get it to the lawyer, like all these things to sort of support and protect my interests, but also in helping me achieve my goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think like a lot of people forget that you're a trained doctor. You weren't trained to run a business. And maybe some places give you an hour or two on like business 101, but nobody
Right.
really knows how to do it unless you've been doing it, you went to school for it or whatever that sort of looks like. I find so much joy in helping people like you that it's like you're so good at what you do, but you don't necessarily know how to run a business in the nicest way.
Yes.
Right? And but you're learning and you're growing and you're evolving. Been so much growth since we started working together. So I think that it's sort of like knowing where your strengths are and then leaning on people for support. And I think all of us need to do that. I go to a therapist because that I need support in that way, right? I think it's incredible what you're building and the impact that you're going to be making in the Ottawa community, but also I know virtually you can help clients across Ontario.
Mhm.
So I feel lucky to be on this side of it just because my support is helping you grow and then you grow is helping the whole community. So it's like a whole ripple effect, which is
Uh,
why I do what I do. Has there been any lessons like wins or hard troubles that you've gone through that you're like, oh, this is a life lesson or something that's changed how you run your business?
I think you actually maybe spoke to this in a post of yours. So there's two parts to that. It's the piece around like one of the barriers to entry for me, and because I've been wanting to do this for a while, because I have the building, I have the great location in Wellington West, I have the space, I have the clinic rooms to expand the team and grow a team, which I've always wanted to do, but I haven't done it up until this point. And the one of the barriers to entry was thinking I had to have it all figured out and know all the things. And that's a moment, right? Because I think that stops a lot of people from going and doing the thing, whichever it may be, to feel like, okay, well, I don't know all the pieces and I don't know all the details. I don't know the plan. I don't have all the skills. And it's like, that's okay. You're right. You have to take that leap of faith. But then the second part, which I also has been a learning moment and aha moment, which is actually connected to that, is the piece around seek the people out there who do know. Like you don't have to do it all on your own. So seek the people who have the expertise, who have the skills, who have like yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the other piece to that is that okay, I may not have all the skills, or even for me, especially because I practice clinically as well as trying to build this, I don't have tons of time, right? So
Yeah.
who else can I bring onto my sort of team to support me? Who can I sort of have this contract this piece out to or this piece out to as I grow, and not see it as a deficit or a negative or a reflection of the self? Because I think there's real power in community. And when we collaborate and we talk to people in terms of sharing ideas and sharing our blind spots and our what have you, I think that there's real strength in that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that it's that vulnerability that it's so scary to ask for help and know that you don't know all the answers. But it's like
Mhm.
anything in life, and so many people that I've worked with is like, I'm afraid to publish my website. I'm afraid to do this. I'm like, just do it. We're at such a great time in terms of technology and what we were
Yeah.
able to do and create. And a lot of things are digital assets. And so it's like if you post a website and you're like, there's a typo in it or the image didn't look great, you can change it within a minute and then republish it. Even social media, I have to make edits in my posts all the time. We have the ability to edit and make changes constantly. And it's scary to publish. Every time I publish on social media, as much as it looks easy, I'm like, oh, I don't really want my face out there and I don't want this. But it's like, I know what it has to get done to grow a business. That vulnerability of also just like showing you yourself, and you're doing so many great videos and content, and I love the messaging that you're putting out. Completely different than what I'm doing, but you're talking to the crowd, like the people that are going to need your support. And it tugs on a lot of heartstrings for me when I watch your videos. So remember to keep doing them because it really will
I-
make an impact for a lot of people, just like how mine did for you.
yeah. I think the piece that you just said, which I just want to add, because I think that's
Yeah.
actually a good metaphor, even in how we see our own growth and development in all aspects of life, is around the edit, right?
Yeah.
Like I can make edits as I go along. We recalibrate as I speak to my clients, but we shift, and that's okay, right? So we put ourselves out there, we try something. Okay, maybe I need to edit this. And I'm using edit in a very
Yeah.
broad and general way, but I think that is really a metaphor for life. We move through life, we learn, okay, I need to tweak, I need to shift, I need to edit, but it's not assigning catastrophic meaning or negative
Yeah.
meaning behind the need to edit. It's allowing yourself grace and compassion and going, okay, well, I need to edit. Do you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think just as you're saying that, I was like, that's a really great metaphor to capture sort of have how we move through life as human beings, I think.
I love that. Thank you. I'm going to
Yeah.
start using that one too because you're totally right. In terms of like entrepreneurship, everyone sees success and they see all of these things that people have, but they don't really see the struggles and the behind the scenes at 2 a.m. that you're lying in bed thinking, what did I do? What do I need to work on, etc. Are there any tools or things that help you reset, or people that you lean on, like people around you that you support yourself with, that help you at all?
Yeah. I mean, you're a big part of the team. You're a big part of the team for sure. I would say friends in my circle. I would say my own therapist, right? That's an ethical part of practice. It's not mandatory, but it is recommended in terms of our doing our own therapeutic work. So I would say that. And then I would say is being mindful, like checking in with myself and how I'm feeling and my bandwidth. Am I feeling a bit depleted? And how do I have a reset? So do I need to like take an afternoon off, or do I need
Yeah.
to have some downtime? Whatever that may be. Do I need to go for a walk? So it really depends, I guess, on what's accessible. But I think I approach that from not a place of not, but what is, and said what is possible, right? Because it's okay, I'm working clinically and I'm trying to build my business. So it is late nights, but then it's like, okay, how do I find an hour? Maybe I'm going to go get my nails done. Or a few weeks ago, I blocked off some time and I went to the Nordique by myself for a couple of hours, right?
I love
So
it.
it's sort of trying to find those little moments. So I would say that's something to be mindful of both in clinically and as I'm trying to build my business.
100%. I mean, you got to take care of yourself no matter what profession you're in. And if you're not in a good state, your business isn't going to be, everybody around you is going to feel it. So it is really important to take care of yourself mentally and physically and emotionally. Good on you for taking the time. I should do more of those. Any more massages for anyone out there? No. And
Me too.
I love this one because business really often mirrors your growth, your personal growth. So how has that shown up for you as an entrepreneur?
That's a big question. I think my growth sort of, I guess how that showed up for me is just as I continue to acquire more skills and understanding of entrepreneurship. I think it's sitting in the discomfort, which I have to do a lot. I've had to do a lot in these initial phases because I really don't know. And again, that's where you come in terms of your expertise, because I don't feel so alone in it. It doesn't feel so daunting, right? It's sort of, as someone walks alongside you, you're like, okay, like, yes, this is really uncomfortable and I'm putting myself out there and this is challenging. And also I have the support.
Yeah.
So I really would say it's vulnerability, right? It's opening yourself up, as you touched on earlier. I think that's where I'm growing, and just sort of trying to trust the process, allowing it to unfold, not having to have it perfect. Like I sometimes like to try to do. It's like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, right? It's okay if that is not, and I can still put it out there. So I think that's the piece, is allowing myself grace and just trusting the process, and really make peace with the fact that I actually still don't have all the answers even this far in, and I'm not that far in, and that's going to be the continual process. So I think it's about, for me, is making peace and accepting that.
Yeah. And listen, you're always going to learn and grow, and something new is going to come at you that I've never experienced, someone else in your circle has never heard of, and you'll
Yeah.
figure it out. You're resourceful. There's lots of tools online, but that's the joy of entrepreneurship, is something's going to get thrown at you and you're like, what is this? And you'll get through it. So I know you do therapy. So how does your business make a difference, do you feel, for your clients and the community as a whole?
Well, I think as I'm expanding my business, I think it's access. And as I expand the team, I think sometimes people are looking for a specific thing, or it's someone they can identify with. And I think that's really important in offering, where there's diversity of skill, diversity of training, diversity of offerings, diversity of people.
Yeah.
And so I think that is really important in the community and space I work in, I feel really good about that. And I feel like access is important, right? So just being there within the community in Wellington West area is great. Like, some of my clientele walks there on their lunch hour or comes after work. So I think it's great that it's in a mixed residential commercial community. And I go back to, I just think it's such an important service. It's such an important piece in people's lives, right? Because sometimes people actually don't have support. When you asked the question earlier, like, who supports? I work with some people who don't feel they have that.
Yeah.
And you're it, right? You're the support.
Yeah.
Or they are coming and they work with people who, there's things they share that they've not been able to share with anyone because they feel shame or they feel what have you. And you're sitting with them and they're very vulnerable and they're sharing. I'm always humbled and I never take it for granted. But as you pointed out earlier, it's the ripple effect of that, right? It's the knock-on effect, right? If I'm working with someone and how things are getting better and they feel helped by me and they feel the strategies and tools, that impacts the other people that they have relationships with, whether it be in work or home, family, friends, right? So, and that carries into all those spaces. So there's this ripple effect that happens, I think.
Yeah, I think the work that you guys do in your team, it's so needed. The mental health struggles, based on the data, are only getting worse. And there's so much support that's needed. And I think people are becoming more comfortable with going to therapy now, and it's less of a stigma around getting support for it. And I'm grateful that people are opening up and sharing that they're seeing a therapist or whatever that looks like, because everybody's going through so much struggle. The world's falling apart a little bit right now. So I think it's really great that there's people like you that are there for others to lean on. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you.
So to end on a high note, so I know you have a beautiful new clinic. It's renovated. I love it. I want to work out of there. And you have a podcast studio that you have that people could rent. That I'm realizing maybe we should have done that in there, but next session.
Yes.
Anything exciting or things that are coming up for you in the new year that you're willing to share with the public?
Expanding the team. So hopefully going to have maybe 5 more therapists joining the team. So look for them on our website, on the OTC website. So we're going to be introducing them. We'll be also introducing them through social media on Instagram, just meet the therapist type of thing. And we're kicking off a couple of marketing campaigns, both digitally and within the transit system in the new year. So look for our signage, and really just looking to grow. And then I think long-term, looking into the fall, I'm going to be hosting a mental health symposium in the fall. So really putting building blocks in place for that hybrid event, which will be both in person and virtual. That's definitely a passion project that I'm putting the building blocks in place. So super excited about that.
I love it. All right, everybody stay tuned. And Tina, how can everybody reach you?
Yeah, so they can find me at ottawatreatmentcentre.com or on social media at OTC_Ottawa.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. And everybody, if you need some support, Tina's amazing. Reach out to her.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Shayna.